Hello, everyone. That's the first thing we ask when pain knocks on the door of our lives. When life throws punches, unexpected losses, betrayal, failure, rejection, we question everything. We want answers. We want relief. We want escape. But what if the very thing you're trying to run from is the one thing trying to sharpen you? What if pain didn't come to break you, but to build you? See, pain doesn't visit without a purpose. It's not just chaos, it's a calling. It's the loudest whisper from life saying, there's a lesson here. Pay attention. Pain shows up not to destroy your path, but to develop your perspective. It isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's not a curse, it's a curriculum. We live in a world that glorifies comfort. We chase convenience, avoid discomfort, and treat any kind of struggle like a problem to be fixed. But comfort never trained a warrior. Ease never built resilience, and no one ever grew stronger by staying where it was safe. Real strength, mental, emotional, spiritual, is forged in adversity. It's built through the grind, the heartbreak, the setbacks, the sleepless nights. The truth is, pain visits you because it has something to teach you. It's the gym for your mind, the battlefield for your breakthrough, the storm that shapes your inner stability. Pain doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're being trained. It's life's most honest teacher. It strips away ego, removes illusion, and reveals what you're really made of. Think about it. The moments that changed you the most, that matured you, that redefined your life, they weren't your easiest days. They were the days that brought you to your knees, the days you wanted to quit, the nights you cried in silence. But you didn't stop. You got back up. And without even knowing it, your mind got sharper, your heart got tougher, your soul got louder. This message isn't for the people who've had it easy. This is for the ones who had to fight for every inch, who've been through hell and are still standing. This is for the ones who understand that pain is not the end. It's the beginning of mastery. If pain is visiting you now, don't run from it. Listen to it. Learn from it. Because it's not there to stay. It's there to shape. So no, pain didn't choose you by mistake. It chose you because there's a version of you that can only be awakened through fire. Your next level is on the other side of the lessons pain is trying to teach you. Don't waste it. Don't numb it. Train through it. Because pain isn't your enemy, it's your evolution in disguise. Pain shows up when we refuse to move. It arrives when comfort has lulled us into stagnation. It appears when we've ignored the quieter signals life has been sending all along. Pain is not life's first resort. It's the final wake-up call when you've stopped listening to whispers and only respond to shouts. Let's be honest, comfort is seductive. It's warm, it's easy. It makes you believe you're safe when in truth you're stuck. The longer you stay in comfort, the more your potential starts to rot in the silence of unchallenged routines. Growth isn't passive, it's active. It requires pressure. And when you resist that pressure for too long, pain steps in and says, if you won't grow by choice, I'll make sure you grow by necessity. That's why pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It doesn't just hand you information, it demands transformation. Pain gets your attention in a way that nothing else can. When everything's going right, we get complacent. We stop pushing. We stop questioning. We start living on autopilot. But when pain enters the picture, autopilot turns off. Suddenly you're present. You're alert. You're searching for answers, for truth, for meaning. Pain teaches you to look within when the outside world doesn't make sense. It makes you ask questions you never would have considered in comfort. Who am I without what I lost? What is this moment trying to teach me? What part of me needs to grow to survive this storm? Think of the greatest leaders, visionaries, and creators in history. Very few were shaped by ease. They were forged in hardship. They were pushed by rejection, driven by loss, and transformed by trials. Pain became their mentor, not because they asked for it, but because they didn't run from it. Sometimes the pain you feel is the breaking of a shell that had to crack in order for your true self to emerge. You may think life is falling apart, but in reality it's falling into place, just not in the way you imagined. That job loss wasn't the end of stability. It was the start of a purpose-driven path. That heartbreak wasn't just emotional pain. It was a reset button on who you thought you needed to be with to feel whole. Pain takes away the illusion of control and forces you to focus on what you can control, your mindset, your actions, your decisions. And that shift from focusing on what's happening to you to what you can do through it is the beginning of mental strength. When comfort fails to develop you, pain is life's backup plan, not because it's cruel, but because it's committed to your growth. Life doesn't care about your convenience, it cares about your capacity, and pain is what expands that capacity. It stretches your emotional endurance, it sharpens your mental clarity, it demands that you evolve. So the next time pain visits you, don't immediately try to numb it or escape it. Sit with it, study it, ask yourself, what is this here to teach me? Because pain only teaches those who are willing to listen. It will not shout forever. If you ignore it long enough, it will return stronger until you finally pay attention. We've been conditioned to think pain is always bad, but the truth is, not all pain is punishment. Some pain is the push you needed but didn't want. It's the conversation with reality. You avoided until life forced you to have it, and if you let it, pain will mold you into someone who can carry heavier loads, lead with more compassion, and pursue goals with relentless fire. So remember, when comfort stops working, pain steps in, not to destroy you, but to develop you, not to defeat you, but to deepen you. Every painful moment is a powerful lesson in disguise. Don't waste it by pretending it has no purpose. Your greatest breakthroughs are often born in the very moments you once wished never happened. And if you can learn to see pain not as the enemy, but as the ultimate educator, you'll never go through anything without growing through it too. The strongest minds you'll ever meet weren't shaped in cozy environments. They weren't coddled by comfort. They were sharpened by struggle, tested by trials, and molded by moments that most people wouldn't survive. You don't develop mental toughness when things are easy. You develop it when everything inside you wants to quit, but you choose to rise anyway. Mental fortitude isn't inherited, it's earned, and it's earned in fire. Think of your mind like steel. Before steel can become strong, it has to be heated, bent, and hammered. It has to endure pressure. That's exactly what pain does to the mind. It tempers it. It reveals what you're truly made of. You might think you're mentally strong, but you don't know until life gets heavy, until things fall apart, until the plan fails. That's when your real mindset is exposed, and either refined or rebuilt. People often confuse motivation with mental strength, but they're not the same. Motivation is temporary. It's a feeling. It comes and goes. But mental fortitude, that's a decision. That's a discipline. That's what shows up when motivation disappears. And more often than not, it's pain that introduces you to this level of inner strength. Pain puts you in situations where you have no choice but to grow stronger. When your back is against the wall, when the doors are all shut, when you've got no backup plan, that's when your mind learns to fight. That's when you find out how deeply you're willing to go to keep going. It's not in moments of praise, but in moments of pressure, that resilience is born. Mental toughness is when you keep showing up, despite the fear, despite the doubt, despite the fatigue. It's staying focused when everything's falling apart. It's continuing to believe in yourself when the world has stopped clapping. And these qualities don't appear in a vacuum. They're activated by adversity. Ask any elite athlete, any Navy SEAL, any successful entrepreneur or leader. They'll tell you the same thing. The hardest moments of their lives built their strongest mindset. Their mental endurance didn't come from winning. It came from losing and still choosing to fight. It came from failure and still choosing to learn. It came from betrayal and still choosing to trust their vision. You can't become mentally strong if you're always trying to avoid struggle. You have to walk into discomfort on purpose. You have to train your mind to find clarity in chaos. And the only way to build that kind of strength is through experience, the kind that hurts, humbles, and hardens you in the best way possible. Pain teaches patience. When things don't go your way, you learn to breathe through frustration instead of panicking. Pain teaches focus. When life strips away all distractions, you're left face to face with your real priorities. Pain teaches gratitude. After surviving what nearly broke you, you stop taking small joys for granted. Every time you survive a painful moment, your mind expands. You carry that experience with you into the next challenge. Suddenly, things that used to shake you no longer faze you. You've seen worse. You've felt worse. And most importantly, you made it through. That history becomes your armor. Mental fortitude is what gives you consistency. It's what allows you to keep grinding when the hype is gone. It's what keeps your dreams alive in seasons of drought. It's what lets you handle pressure without folding, criticism without crumbling, and rejection without retreating. And the people who win in life, the ones who truly make impact, aren't the most talented or the most privileged. They're the ones who built mental resilience through pain and never gave up. They didn't pray for easy lives. They trained for hard ones. They didn't fear the fire. They walked through it, knowing it was shaping them into someone who could handle the weight of their destiny. So if you're in the fire right now, don't panic. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. You're being toughened, trained, and transformed. Every tear, every setback, every lonely night is forging mental strength that will carry you further than talent or luck ever could. The world doesn't need more comfort seekers. It needs more warriors of the mind, people who've been tested, broken, and rebuilt stronger. And you become that person, not by avoiding pain, but by enduring it with purpose. Pain doesn't weaken the mind, it strengthens it. If you let it, pain does something no other force in life can do. It breaks the ego, and in the breaking, it builds something far more powerful, the soul. The ego thrives in certainty, status, and self-importance. It feeds on applause, titles, and comfort zones. But the soul is quiet. It lives in truth. It grows in silence. It matures in struggle. And sometimes, the only way for the soul to rise is for the ego to be broken. Pain is the hammer that does the breaking. It's the moment you realize you're not invincible. It's when the relationship you thought would last forever, when the job you built your identity around is taken from you, when the plan you clung to for years crumbles overnight. Pain hits hard because it shatters illusions. It strips away the fake layers we've built to feel in control. And though it feels like destruction, it's actually reconstruction. See, the ego wants to appear strong. It wants to win, to dominate, to impress. But pain doesn't care about appearances. Pain is after the real you, the raw you, the one underneath all the pretending. Pain comes to humble you, but not to humiliate you. It humbles you to heal you. It humbles you to awaken you. When ego is in control, we chase things that look good from the outside, but leave us empty inside. We make choices out of fear of judgment, not from clarity of purpose. We talk more than we listen. We push harder instead of stepping back and reflecting. But pain puts a stop to that. It forces you to slow down, look deeper, to ask questions like, who am I? Without the title, what do I value when no one's watching? What really matters if everything else falls away? Those are soul-level questions, and they usually only come after ego has been shattered. Here's the beauty though. Once the ego breaks, something new begins. The soul starts to build. You become more grounded, more compassionate, more resilient. You stop performing and you begin to operate from inner strength, not outer validation. The pain that broke your ego often leads to your deepest spiritual growth. You develop empathy because you've been there. You become a better friend, partner, leader, not because you know it all, but because you've suffered and survived. You carry a depth that can't be taught in a classroom or found in a book. That kind of depth only comes from walking through fire and letting it refine you. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean pain is glamorous. It's not. It hurts, it confuses, it isolates, it makes you question everything. But in that space when nothing makes sense and no one can fix it for you, that's when your soul starts to whisper, keep going. This won't be the end of you. There's more inside you than you ever imagined. That's the soul taking the lead. Let's get one thing straight. Pain is not proof that life is against you. It's not the universe singling you out. It's not a sentence. It's a setup. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. Prepared for what? Prepared for the level of life you've been asking for. Prepared for the greatness that easy moments could never equip you for. Prepared for the impact, the legacy, the calling that takes more than comfort to carry. The problem is, when pain shows up, it rarely feels like preparation. It feels like punishment. It feels like rejection, abandonment, failure. But what if you could shift your perspective? What if you stopped asking, why is this happening to me? And started asking, what is this preparing me for? See, every time pain visits you, it's delivering a lesson, a tool, a strength you didn't even know you needed. It's not a delay. It's development. It's not a detour. It's design. Life never sends pain without purpose. And the sooner you can see pain as a preparation tool instead of a punishment, the sooner you stop resisting it and start rising from it. You want to lead, pain will teach you humility. You want to influence, pain will teach you empathy. You want to win at the highest level, pain will train your discipline, focus, and endurance like nothing else can. Look back on your life for a second. The moments you thought would break you, they built you. The times you felt lost, they gave you depth. The heartbreaks, the failures, the rejections, they didn't kill your potential. They carved out the space where real strength now lives. Here's the hard truth. Comfort doesn't build character. Struggle does. Pressure does. Resistance does. And that pressure you're feeling, That challenge that's stretching you, it's life testing your capacity before it trusts you with more. Why? Because blessings are heavy, and if you don't build the strength first, the very thing you prayed for will crush you when it arrives. This is why preparation matters. Before David became king, he faced Goliath. Before the butterfly flies, it fights the cocoon. Before the diamond shines, it survives intense pressure. And before you reach your breakthrough, you'll have to walk through the valley with nothing but belief. So don't mistake the pain for punishment. It's your personal trainer. It's working on your patience, your mindset, your maturity. It's building a foundation inside that fame, money, or comfort never could. It's teaching you to carry yourself with quiet confidence, because real strength doesn't need to shout. It shows up through consistency and courage. You're not broken, you're becoming. You're not behind. So the next time pain knocks on your door, don't run, don't hide, don't curse the sky and ask why me. Instead, stand up and say, train me. Because pain didn't come to defeat you, it came to develop. It didn't visit to break you down, it came to build you up. Not to punish, but to prepare. Not to weaken, but to weaken. Not to destroy who you are, but to reveal who you're meant to become. Pain trains the mind, and it does so with intensity, because greatness demands it. It wants to know, can you stay focused when everything is falling apart? Can you move forward with tears in your eyes and fire in your chest? Can you trust the promises when you don't yet understand the purpose? Because if you can, if you're willing to endure, to learn, to grow, then the very pain you feared becomes your greatest power. You're not fragile, you're forged. You're not a victim, you're a vessel. And every storm, every scar, every struggle, it's shaping you for something bigger than you can see right now. So let the world throw what it wants. Let life test you, bend you, challenge you. Because when the pain is over, when the fire has passed, you won't just have survived, you'll have been transformed. And that is why pain visits you, not to stop your story, but to shape your strength. Keep going. The world needs the version of you that only pain could produce. Funko.